Hello and welcome back to our channel. From Steph Curry laying on the floor to avoid being posterized, to Fergie's disastrous cover of the national anthem, the All-Star Weekend has treated us to some hilarious moments year after year. Welcome to Hooper, and in this video, we'll talk about some of the hilarious NBA All-Star moments. The All-Star break is a much-needed breather for the players as well as the fans, allowing everyone to just have fun with things, rather than everything being about fierce competition. Sure, competition's great too, but there needs to be a break in the middle, or else players will feel miserable. After all, these dudes have to play numerous games and travel from one city to another all the time, and that takes a toll on you. With the All-Star Weekend, not only do players get a break from the regular season games, but they also get to be entertained thanks to all the events that take place. And of course, there are always some funny moments that make everybody laugh like crazy. Sort of like the time Curry laid on the floor. As goofy as that sounds, the chef had his reasons for doing this. You see, Giannis Antetokounmpo was going crazy in the 2017 All-Star Game, dunking on everybody. And with a little under 10 minutes left in the third quarter, Kyrie dished a lob to the Greek Freak, who caught it and posterized Steph. Then, just a few seconds later, Giannis got the steal and drove to the rim, but Curry was standing in the paint. So to avoid being embarrassed 2 times in a row, he just laid flat on the floor and got up only after Antetokounmpo completed the dunk.
And comes up with a steal. And it takes all the way.
Unluckily for Steph, though, he got posterized by the Greek Freak anyway, just a few minutes after that. But it's not as if the funny moments only happened on the court, as one of the best ones came during the team introductions in 2012, when the East All-Star starters were having the time of their lives, while Derrick Rose looked like he was plotting a murder. D-Rose has always been a reserved guy, and that's also the case when everybody else around him is having fun. The 2012 East All-Star starters all came out to I'm a Boss by Meek Mill, and they were feeling themselves, especially Bron and Dwight as they were dancing and smiling, while Melo and Wade just had grins on their faces. D-Rose, on the other hand, didn't smile or dance for a second and stood still the entire time, making it seem as if he hated everyone around him. This made everyone crack up big time, cause he looked so out of place. But while Derek didn't want to be LeBron's dance partner, Shaq most definitely did. And their dance-off from 2007 was hilarious. O'Neal kicked things off and let's just say he got jiggy with it, as he does, cause he's just a big old comedian, pun intended. He walked up to James and took off his headband before showing off some sick dance moves, including a spinner-rooney. Considering the sheer size of the man, he managed to pull it off quite well, and finish it off with the Cleopatra pose. The pose itself was super funny. But it wasn't the end of it, because somehow he managed to convince King James to bust a move, and soon they were dancing at the same time. But of course he couldn't match Shaq's moves. That doesn't mean it wasn't completely hilarious, cause that part of the All-Star Weekend had everyone completely lose it, especially when O'Neal decided to twerk as a cherry on top. And he didn't just do it once, he did it 7 times. Though if you think that was funny, let me tell you about the Barkley-Bavetta race from the same year. First of all, 43-year-old Charles Barkley racing against a 67-year-old Dick Bavetta is hilarious anyway, and the tale of the tape made things even funnier. Once the race was set to begin, Chuck tried to cheat and started running before the race officially started, which made everyone chuckle as is. But the highlight came towards the end. Despite not being in the best shape, Sir Charles was able to stay ahead of Bavetta, so he got a little cocky and backpedaled his way to the finish line, resulting in a round mound of rebound tumbling to the floor. Not to mention, just before that happened, Dick dove to the floor in a last-ditch attempt, making the moment even more ridiculous. And if you love ridiculous moments, the Celebrity All-Star Game is for you. I mean, just look at what Guillermo did in 2023. With the second quarter coming to a close, Guillermo got his chance to shine and drill a mini from the right corner. But instead he shot the ball with such poor form that it ended up getting stuck between the backboard and the rim. Everyone was laughing like crazy, and his reaction made things even funnier. He just stood there proudly with his arms stretched as if he had hit the most clutch game winner in the history of the Celebrity Game.
Over a minute to go, The Miz with a great catch on that pass. Guillermo, that is the most Guillermo thing that you will see tonight.
But can you really expect anything different from him? As Mark Jones put it, that was the most Guillermo thing that could have happened. After all, he's probably never even played basketball properly, but when pros mess up, it's even funnier. And that's exactly what happened during the 2020 Rising Stars game. Team USA was up big with less than a minute to go. So Zion Williamson and Ja Morant thought it would be a good idea to treat the fans to some sick dunks. Unfortunately for them, they entertained us by making fools out of themselves. First, Zion went for a 180 windmill, but he got stuffed by the rim. Then he got another chance, so he lobbed it off the backboard and went between his legs, only to miss again. Williamson tried his luck one last time, yet he couldn't complete the dunk once more. So Ja went for it instead. And he got stuffed by the rim as well. To make things even funnier, Brandon Clark from Team World took a crack at a dunk after Ja, yet it was the same result. And keep in mind, they were given open lanes for each attempt. Though as embarrassing as this was, Scotty Barnes and Tyrese Maxey had an even funnier moment in 2022. Pros missing wide-open dunks isn't too crazy, but bricking wide-open layups? That's just unacceptable. The 2022 Clorox Clutch Challenge was a nightmare for both men, as they made themselves look like chumps. Scotty missed 4 uncontested layups in a row, so the fans, commentators, and players couldn't believe what they were seeing. And of course, they couldn't contain their laughter, especially Tyrese Halliburton and Desmond Bane. To make matters worse, Maxey missed almost all of his jumpers before bricking 2 wide-open layups himself. It felt like we were watching a couple of 10-year-olds shoot hoops. So I don't think these guys will be able to live this moment down. But as hilarious as this was, the funniest moment belongs to Fergie. The 2018 All-Star Game was off to a disastrous start because Fergie made the mistake of trying too hard. Rather than singing it normally like everyone else, she chose to add some razzle-dazzle to her cover, and let's just say it was bad. Don't get me wrong, Fergie's an all-time great in the music industry, but she made a fool of herself on that night. The players couldn't believe what they were hearing, and the cameraman made things better by zooming in on their faces. Dudes like Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Karl Anthony Towns were trying so hard to keep a straight face, but that didn't last long, as they all cracked soon after. In fact, Curry straight up started laughing. The All-Star Weekend is loads of fun anyway, thanks to all the exciting events, as well as the fact that we get to see our favorite players team up. But of course, we all know that the All-Star break is way more entertaining when they are funny moments that have us laughing like crazy. I mean, it's not often that we get to see a dude like Shaq dancing like a goofball. Nor do we get the chance to see pros missing multiple wide-open dunks and layups. Unlike the regular season, the All-Star Weekend is all fun and games, which is great for everyone involved in the NBA community. On that note, we'll wrap up today's video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Hooper, cause there'll be more awesome videos coming every week.